Great racing going on there, and we have one race in the heat races. This, of course, is the final chance for these people to make it through to the semi-finals. We'll be tossing up the points at the end. We've already got an idea of some of the people going through. Obviously, Brkc, Schlitz, Ruben Bouters, we know they're going through. People like that. Lewis Manley almost certainly be going through. But in this race, we have Bradley Shepherd, we've got Phil Pryor, Dalton Duke, Dennis Holler, Slavik Piskorz, Matt West, Aldous Kavaliauskas, Marco Grady, Carl Stevens and Jamie Burke. So really from this, who I'm looking for the victory, it's got to really be pointing at Dennis Holler, the German. He's been a star of the scene for quite some time, still excels. He's actually, shall we say, advancing years. He's younger than me, but he's certainly older than a lot of the competition. He's in his 40s. And Dennis Holler, he does win the, he's regular in the Kart World Championship of winning the Masters class, which is up for over 40s, hence the mention there. He was actually overall French champion. He's German, but he was racing the French Championships last year. He won it overall. So Dennis Holler is probably the favourite to win going in, but what we've seen so far in the British Rental Kart Championship is the unexpected result. We've seen some names we had never mentioned before coming right to the fore. They're out to qualify now. We'll see where this ends up for these guys here, as they're all on that qualifier now, as it's the warm-up lap, sorry, the warm-up lap, the qualifying laps are yet to begin, and the 16 kart there, that's looking like, yes, Phil Pryor. Phil Pryor's going to be the first one to do. There's Slavik Piskorz to set a time. And Dennis Holler now is going through. He's on his qualifying lap. He is probably everyone's on-paper favourite to take the pole position. But as we've seen, it's not necessarily a done deal until all those laps come in. So they're out there setting this lap. This is a really important lap not to get anything wrong. No touching the walls, anything. You will go right to the back. The least little touch on the wall, the bigger skid, anything like that, you're going to go down the order. The lap times are in. It's Pryor fastest. Slavik Piskorz goes quicker. Dennis Holler predictably fastest. Dalton Norris, second place. It's still Dennis Holler. Karts are coming through, and it's still Dennis Holler. Aldous Kavaliauskas and Bradley Shepherd. Bradley Shepherd is up to second. And Matt West into seventh. Jamie Burke into third. So Dennis Holler from Bradley Shepherd and Jamie Burke, as that's going to be your lineup. Now, Dennis Holler, on paper the favourite, but Bradley Shepherd, we've seen him being very racy. He's probably one of the best drivers in the UK at the moment. There'll be a few people trying to argue that. One of those people who won't argue it is Bradley Shepherd. He's a known deal. He is the real deal. He can win indoor, outdoor. It doesn't matter what format he's in. It doesn't matter what formula he's in. Bradley Shepherd is always a threat. So we're looking down as the lineup being formed. Now, there is Dennis Holler, the German, up at the front, and there's Bradley Shepherd behind. So Bradley Shepherd in the orange. That's the one there. Jamie Burke is in third place. The 19, of course, is Dalton Norris. Now, that's a good qualifying position for him. We've seen him around that area generally, but maybe moving up the order. Carl Stevens. Carl Stevens must have qualified fifth in just about every race he's been in this weekend. There was a time just a couple of years when he'd be more like qualifying 9th or 10th, but now it's fifth all weekend long for Carl Stevens. Slavik Piskorz sixth, and Phil Pryor seventh, Matt West eighth, Aldous Kavaliauskas ninth, Marco Grady 10th. They're coming round for the start. Dennis Holler is going to try and perform the perfect start. It needs to be fast enough to stay ahead, but slow enough to keep everyone bunched. Holler on the gas. He's made the perfect start. Dennis Holler leads the way into the snail section. Bradley Shepherd has a couple of karts length between him and Holler, but he's closed it back in under rake of the hairpin. Bradley Shepherd in the orange in second place. Dennis Holler continues to lead out of the snail section there into the fast corner here. Down the backstretch they go. Bradley Shepherd in a firm second place there. They all file through nose to tail pretty much down the backstretch. It is Dennis Holler with the lead. There goes Holler, there goes Shepherd through to complete the opening lap. It is the German, it's Dennis Holler in the final heat race of the tournament for 2023. Leads the way into the snail. The tight bit of the snail there, Dennis Holler, he comes out, so does Bradley Shepherd. There's absolutely no contact whatsoever. Karts filing through, everyone matching each other for speed. But speed up at the front is what counts, and that's Dennis Holler with Bradley Shepherd. Both of them trying to extend a slight lead out over Jamie Burke. Or was a change of position maybe. That was Matt West with Phil Pryor, and Matt West the outside. Pryor, I think, ducks the inside and keeps the position. I'll double check exactly on that, who that is. I think it's the 8 kart. No, it's Aldous Kavaliauskas. Aldous Kavaliauskas has passed Matt West for position. West has been pushed down to 9 by Aldous Kavaliauskas, Lithuanian ethnicity, but does work here in the UK. So Dennis Holler leads the way from Bradley Shepherd, Jamie Burke. There's Dennis Holler turning in. There's Bradley Shepherd now. They've extended their lead out to Jamie Burke. Dalton Norris is now working on Jamie Burke, possibly looking at taking third place of him as they complete another lap. As no pit visitors for you, Anthony, but Dennis Holler and Bradley Shepherd are certainly trying to make a bit of a break in this one.
Yeah, that's completely understandable that they would do such a thing. You know, if they can get a good, decent gap in this time, then they don't have to worry about their pit stop strategy. It's a pure race against themselves. That's better than having to race the entire field.
Absolutely right. And if they can, they will pull out the gap big enough over Jamie Burke to be able to come in the pits and go out without any trouble.
We have got an early pit stop, though. The number 19 from third place, Dalton Jute, has come in, or Dalton Norris, I should say. He pits, and it's a good stop. He's gone for the early stop. Hopefully that works out for him.
Yeah, that early stop didn't really work yesterday because people were probably not using the pit stops to full effect and good advantage yesterday. But today, certainly the early stop has been quite fruitful. So we'll see what Dalton Norris can do with that. He's generally not been one of the early stoppers, but in this race he's come in just about as early as he can. We'll see if that improves the position for him. But there's Dennis Holler. There is Bradley Shepherd. Now there's a big gap now to Jamie Burke. It's 3.5 seconds, and there's a huge train behind Jamie Burke. He's under enormous pressure from Carl Stevens, who's up to 4th, Slavik Piskor's up to 5th, and Phil Pryor in 6th. So Dennis Holler turning in at the end of the straight there. There's Bradley Shepherd, keeping Holler honest. The gap has stayed constant between the two and extended back to third place, which is Jamie Burke. So they're crossing the line, 1, 2, and then the third is 3.5 seconds, now up to 4 seconds. The two up at the front are creating quite a gap, but such is their speed. Dennis Holler, the fastest lap of the race so far, but such is their speed that they're pulling out literally half a second on the pursuers, third place Jamie Burke and back. So 6 laps in, 16.5 minutes still to go, so a long way yet. Dennis Holler leads, Bradley Shepherd second, another lap in. And it was 4 seconds gap last time. What's it going to be this time? Well, yes, 4.5. Dennis Holler, Bradley Shepherd pulling out an enormous gap over third place and everyone else in the field. It's still Jamie Burke hanging on as best he can in third, but he's losing half a second a lap, and everyone else behind is losing even more. So 2 people in the pits so far. Sorry, I think I was talking there while Carl Stevens came in. A good stop, Anthony.
Yeah, it was a good stop. Yeah, 2 green lights, no real time lost, and yeah, he's back out on circuit, no drama. Another car in the pit lane now. It's the number 15. I think this is Burke that's come in. It is Jamie Burke who has pitted. He got a green light on the first gate, green light on the second. Team being very supportive, and he's back out on track.
And crucially, from his point of view, he comes out ahead of Carl Stevens. Carl Stevens obviously would have taken that early pit stop, looking to leapfrog those in front. He was 4th. Third place Jamie Burke came in and went out, and third place Jamie Burke came in and has exited the pits ahead of Carl Stevens, which will have been his plan there. So Jamie Burke, Carl Stevens are the only, well, they're 2 of the 3 pit visitors, Dalton Norris as well. The 3 pit visitors are at the back of the field at the moment, as you would expect. So, my goodness me, Dennis Holler and Bradley Shepherd, as a result of those pit stops by Burke and Stevens particularly, now have an even bigger lead to third place. It's an incredible 6.8 seconds to third place Slavik Piskor's. If they were to pit now, they would still have upwards of a 4 seconds gap before Jamie Burke and Carl Stevens came along. So incredible performance. There's Slavik Piskor's. Slavik Piskor's all action. He's going to get some amazing onboard videos. He'll probably show that on YouTube, so keep an eye out for Slavik Piskor's on YouTube as he rounds the Snell section. He's coming out of it. He's on the backstretch now, down the backstretch, the fastest part, and he's got Phil Pryor behind him. Phil Pryor is working on Slavik Piskor's. Slavik Piskor's does have a very sort of action-packed style. He really lays it on. He was originally, for many years, a speedway rider back in Poland. Came to England and switched from speedway took up karting, and he's been here in the Brkc for many years now. He's pretty much a feature, very much won the establishment. Turn up to a Brkc event and you're going to find Slavik Piskor's somewhere. So and in this case that somewhere is third place. But look at Phil Pryor. Phil Pryor working hard on the back of Slavik Piskor's. Can he take the position? That's the question. We're not sure. Slavik Piskor's is pretty keen to make out that he won't, but Phil Pryor, is he going to have a look down the inside of the Snell? No, he can't make it work there. Brkc has got that covered as they come around, exiting the snail, and Brkc has pulled out probably the biggest gap we've seen, but can Pryor close in down the backstretch there? It's going to be full speed down the backstretch with Phil Pryor closing in on Brkc at the end there, but not enough to overtake. Anthony, still not many people coming in. There's some early pit stop, yes, but what's going on down there?
We have the 16 has just come in, actually. So Phil Pryor, as you were talking about him, just pitted. There was a green on pit stop 1, a green on pit stop 2, and he's back out now. We also had Mark O'Grady pit just before him as well.
Right, so Marco O'Grady is now resumed at last place, 10th, so everyone's bumped up a position there. So of the pit stoppers, 6th place is Dalton Norris, 7th is Jamie Burke, Carl Stevens 8th, Phil Pryor 9th, Mark O'Grady 10th. That's pretty much what the order was. Just going to be keeping my eyes open, just make sure I don't miss any of those pit stoppers, and handing over to you, Anthony, because Aldous Kavaliauskas is in 4th place now, Matt West is in 5th, Dalton Norris in 6th. Obviously, Dalton Norris is a pit stopper. Will he leapfrog people? Yes, he will. Dalton Norris, at the moment, on paper, is in a position to assume 3rd place once all this is cycled through. We'll see if that's a reality, because he's, 5 seconds behind Slavik Brkc, so he'll easily cover that. And Slavik Brkc currently, of course, is in 3rd place. No question that he's not in a position to attack Holler or Shepherd, but 3rd place is there for Dalton Norris. Now, Dalton Norris is possibly in or out of the running of the semi-finals. I'll keep an eye out for those points as they cycle through on the big screen here. Let's have a look then. So we're looking for Norris. He's certainly not in the top 19. Dalton Norris is the man in question. So they're showing Rico Schlitz, where is Norris? No, he's... I don't think he's in a position to make the semi-finals at all at the moment, so and that would be unlucky for Dalton Norris, or if he is, it's a squeeze. Certainly he's doing the best he can in order to achieve that. 3rd place points will be a heck of a lot. It'll be 8 points, and it really will throw him up beyond what the timing screen is showing. So, Dennis Holler in the lead. Bradley Shepherd 2nd, still Slavik Brkc 3rd. Now, if the leaders came in now, they would come out just about where Slavik Brkc is. There he is on screen. And that's where the leaders would be, and that means that with a pit stop in hand, they are comfortably going to come out 1st and 2nd. Anthony, it has to be said here, Dennis Holler and Bradley Shepherd making short work of the opposition on this one.
Yeah, they really are. I think they're just, they're doing what they do best, isn't it? They go quick and, they win races. So
yeah, what they do best is drive racing carts, and that's what they're doing here, driving racing carts as we speak. Now, Holler has extended the bigger lead that he's had so far over 2nd place Bradley Shepherd. I think that's probably, I wouldn't like to say broken Shepherd, but shall we say sealed the deal on what the actual result's going to be. I know Bradley Shepherd will be aware that he has got a ruck of points in 2nd place there, so anything silly chasing Dennis Holler, and I'm thinking particularly the pit stop, risking an amber light in the pits, it's just not worth it for Bradley. He's going to be wise to hang on to that 2nd place.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, again, it falls down. I don't want to keep reminding him because he's probably in the in the bar area and we can hear this. But you know, we saw Ivan get that penalty as well from the race lead, and it is doable. So these guys still have to be careful. Yeah, they may have a huge lead, but they're still they can come a cropper still.
Yeah, the great thing is in this position is that.
Oh, we got action in the pit lane. Sorry, the 17 in the pit lane. This is Matthew West. Green light on gate 1. Comes to gate number 2. Wait for it. Green light, and he's back out on circuit to a nice clear piece of track. Yeah,
and at this point, Anthony, I'm just going to clarify what happened with Jamie Henderson in the earlier race. Heard from the organisers that what it was that actually Jamie Henderson, when he stopped, he was barely in the box where the beams pick up that the cart has come to a stop. You know, in the stop box. Oh,
so Aldous in the pit lane now. The number 8 driver from Lithuania. Good gate 1, gate 2, also green. He's had now probably his best race he's had so far this weekend.
Yeah, he was certainly running in the top half there, and he's come out just ahead of Matt West. So it's going to be a bit of a fight on. He's down in 8th place. Matt West is going to try and make it 9th. So Aldous Kavaliauskas, he's come out of the pits, but he's got an awful lot of work on his hands. He's got Matt West trying to pass him coming out the snail section. Just going oh well, we'll have a look at Matt West down the backstretch. What's he going to be into the hairpin? No. West there in the red suit is forced to stay behind. So just clarifying the Jamie Henderson penalty earlier on. What apparently happened was Jamie Henderson came in the pits. He stopped in the box area where the beam's going to pick him up. He was only just in. So when he rolled a fraction back, he actually came out of the beam. And that's when it picked up and went yellow. So that's what happened with Jamie Henderson. I thought he'd gone a bit deep, but obviously it was the other way around. He'd actually pitted quite short, and when it rolled that fraction back, it was just enough to trip it. Such fine margins we're dealing with here, Anthony.
Yeah, definitely. So I thought that was the case when I was down here, because the guy said, yeah, he was just in the area, and yeah, when they saw him roll back, he just completely rolled out of it. So yeah, a shame. That's such a shame.
Yeah, that's basically what it is, and it kind of shows how marginal things are when the competition's this tight. So, not really marginal for Dennis Holler and Bradley Shepherd. They're just rolling out those laps. 7 minutes 40. We're looking now there at Matt West. He's chasing down Aldis Kavaliauskas down at the back of the field. Dennis Holler actually is closing in on these two, and that's going to be very interesting because obviously Matt West is thinking more about Aldis. Now, when Aldis has Dennis Holler on him, he's going to be thinking perhaps that is Matt West. So this might not be the easiest of passes for Dennis Holler. He's got so much time in hand. He's 1.7 seconds over Bradley Shepherd, and then in turn, Slavik Piskor's is a good 14 seconds behind. So there's all this in time. But there's Dennis Holler. We can see the back of him. Here is Aldis Kavaliauskas, the Lithuanian, and there is Matt West in the orange. And there's Dennis Holler. Here comes Bradley Shepherd, and that's the gap you can see first.
Dennis Holler in the pit lane. Sorry, the number 10. Driver from Germany gets a green light on gate 1, comes to gate 2, firmly in the box, and he gets one out. Now I'll see, it's good. An orange light did come on, but the green came on before the orange.
Phew. So yes, maybe a little bit of residualness on the beam there, so tripping yellow, but it was green, as you say. So Dennis Holler has actually returned to the track in second place. Now he's 9.1 seconds behind Bradley Shepherd, so really Bradley Shepherd cannot be expected to come into the pits and resume the lead. There's Matt West we're looking at on screen. There's Aldis Kavaliauskas in the snail section there on screen. There's Matt West. It is Bradley Shepherd in the lead of the race, so Slavik Piskor's in.
It is indeed in the pit lane, the number 21 in, and it's a good stop on gate 1, comes towards gate 2, and it is green light, and he makes his way back out on circuit.
Yes, he does. Now, where is he cycled out there? He's just lost the position to Phil Pryor. Phil Pryor had momentum, and he managed to do him coming out of the pit. So Phil Pryor and Slavik Piskor's just switched positions there. Slavik Piskor's has now dropped down to 7th place. Phil Pryor's gone up to 6th. Jamie Brkc is up there in 5th. Up in 4th is Carl Stevens. Dalton Norris has come through to 3rd. Now that's what we were looking for. Dalton Norris, a very early pit stopper. He certainly didn't start 3rd, and he's made his way back up to the 3rd position. Carl Stevens has gained a space as well. Jamie Brkc has been pushed down to 5th place, and that's really the difference there. So Dalton Norris, Carl Stevens getting 2 of their best results of the weekend there as we look at Matt West chasing down Aldis Kavaliauskas. A lot of these drivers now in this race, this is their final outing for the tournament. A lot of these fellas, including Aldis Kavaliauskas and Matt West, are racing for the last time. They will not be making the semi-final. They will not be making the final either. And they continue around just doing what they can now. Now there's Bradley Shepherd. Now he's about to close in on them. He's going to come in the pits. We saw Dennis Holler, rather than try and pass West and Kavaliauskas and put them a lap down, he came straight in the pits. Are we going to see the same thing from Bradley Shepherd? It wouldn't be a bad idea, would it?
Well, I think he needs to pit now because Dennis Holler is slowly reeling him in. Yeah, he's taking small chunks out of him. If he doesn't pit now, he's going to lose enough time. He's got 9.5 seconds. It's enough to potentially come out side by side, if not maybe just ahead. But he needs to pit right now. He's got traffic. Hand is up. Let's see what's going to happen. Race leader Bradley Shepherd into the pit lane, and he goes into gate 1. Red light comes on. It's a good spot. It comes in towards gate 2. Dennis Holler's going round into the final corner. It's going to be very close. It's a green light. Dennis Holler's just going to have it, though, by the skin of his teeth.
Just about hanging in there, Dennis Holler. Now, Dennis Holler, of course, he had a lot of momentum coming out that hairpin, and by heck he needed it. There he is. There's the German Holler, as Bradley Shepherd just flashing through on the camera there. So there's Dennis Holler, the German. He's coming through the fast corner onto the backstretch. Now, behind him, we will see Shepherd coming to view. Surely there's Shepherd in the orange. So that is the gap in real terms. So there's Dennis Holler. There's Bradley Shepherd as they come through to complete this lap. And yeah, sliding through there, that's look like Dalton Norris, as Dennis Holler continues in the lead with 3 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. Surely it's Holler's race now. Bradley Shepherd, this is a very creditable second place though. It's going to be very good for the championship for him. Where is he? I'm trying to have a look on the screen there to see what the positions are and whether or not we're going to see Bradley Shepherd in the semi-finals. Well, he's you know what, I think he's made it. The screen's flipped over, so I haven't actually seen the top positions, but I actually think we're going to see Bradley Shepherd in the semi-finals here, Anthony. It wouldn't be a surprise, would it, the performances he's put in so far this weekend?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, he's been absolutely fantastic. Yes, he's had it up and downs all the way through today, but he's been a consistent name at the sharp end of the spectrum, and yeah, it'd be a shame not to see him in the semi-finals.
Yes, it would. He's had a third place in his opening race. He was out of the top three in the second round. In the third round, he had a second place, and if he gets to second place now, that is an awful lot of points. That's almost the most points you're going to get without actually winning. So he certainly has got more points than some of the people who have won races. Interestingly, some people have been pushed down surprisingly. Dennis Holler is only in 25th place. So I am honestly surprised to see that. Harrison Kirkham's down the bottom there. Daniel Truman's the one on the bubble in 30th in terms of making it through. You've got to be top 30 on points to get a semi-final spot in this. So Dennis Holler, deceptively, is down in 25th place, although of course no points yet awarded for this, so I'm sure he'll go up the order there. Right then, 2 minutes to go. Dennis Holler leading from Bradley Shepherd and the incredible Dalton Norris. He has leapfrogged his way up through an intelligent pit stop strategy to come through to third place. Carl Stevens, the same can be said for him. He's kind of followed Norris for moves, and that's worked out because both of them were very early pit stoppers. That helped them leapfrog Jamie Burke and stay ahead of Phil Pryor and Slavik Piskorz. Aldous Kavaliuskas remains ahead of Matt West. We've seen a race-long battle between those two. Mark O'Grady brings him up in 10th. He's the only one to go a lap down. As we look at Dennis Holler on screen there, that is the magnificent German driver. He really makes it look easy. So smooth, so cool, so collected. And even in interviews, Anthony, he just seems like he's had a bit of an easy ride.
Yeah, I would agree with that one. It's, you know, I mean, definitely so. I mean, he's a cool, calm, collected driver, no doubt about it. He's had good races again, and you know, he's a very quick driver. We always see him with the sharp end, and I just, yeah, he's gonna make it, and I reckon he's gonna do quite well. He seems like he's quite, I don't know, I don't want to say shy because that's the wrong word, but he seems very conservative about what he's going to do in the semi-finals. He doesn't feel fully confident that he's going to do well.
Yeah, I think you're right there. He's kind of downplaying his chances a little bit. He may downplay them when he's talking to you, but his driving on the track seems to upplay them. I'm certainly expecting him to appear in the final. There's little doubt in my mind that he's going to be a finalist. So if he's sort of downplaying his semi-final chances, when I certainly think he'll be in the final, well, one of us is wrong.
Well, yeah, exactly. We'll see who it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Thinking isn't knowing, is it? As Dennis Holler completes 39 laps, it's going to be at least a 40-lap race. There is Dennis Holler. He's going to complete this lap and then the final one. So he's on his penultimate lap now. He's really on his, it can be described as his imperious way. Anthony, Dennis Holler is. He's making it look easy. He's been very smooth, very correct, really proper, almost robotic in his driving, and a relentless pursuit of this victory, which he is going to take. He's got one more lap. He's starting the final lap now. There's Dennis Holler on screen, the number 10, the German. See how easy he makes it look, almost an effortless drive there. And as I say, his imperious way to victory in this race. There's Dennis Holler coming round for the final time on this long sweeper down to the backstretch, and he comes down, and Bradley Shepherd is not even in view. There's Bradley Shepherd. So that's the kind of lead that Holler has built up. That's what 3 seconds looks like on track. Here comes Dennis Holler. He's going to take the win, and Dennis Holler wins it. Bradley Shepherd, though, through to second place. That's a good result for Bradley Shepherd. Dalton Norris into third. That's a spectacular third. Where's Carl Stevens? Carl Stevens yet to appear. There's Carl Stevens. He's coming through quite some way back, but he's in fourth place. There's Carl Stevens. That's his best result by my reckoning. And through goes Jamie Burke, Phil Pryor, Slavik Piskorz, Mark O'Grady has finished already in 10th. And so Pryor, Piscors, it's Kavaliuskas and West. Is it? Is it? Because they were fighting out. Yes, they are. It's side by side after they crossed the line. But certainly it looks like Kavaliuskas got the nod on that 8th place. Quite a finish there for those two. They've been battling all race long. But there's no denying the winner. It is Dennis Holler. Anthony, it's down to you in the pit lane for whatever interview you can find. Bradley Shepard's going to be delighted, but Dennis Holler, he's going to be his usual calm and collected self, I'm sure.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, we'll have a quick chat with quite a few drivers. Obviously, the top two will have to get weighed up, of course, to make sure they are all legal in the points. Dennis Holler is going to go in first. He gets checked, and he is all good by the looks of it. Dennis, yeah, 1 second. Yeah. We'll let you get ready. Shepard is getting himself sorted in as well. And as you can hear, all the heats are done. Nice race there, brothers. That was a good one, wasn't it?
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. You know, I think for the team's sake, Dennis had to win, but I couldn't match his pace anyway. So yeah, happy with 2nd place and hopefully just scrape into the semi-finals.
We have worked out the points. I think, yeah, you are in the semi-finals there, so it's a good one for you. So, yeah, it will be great to see you out there. You've got more races to go. You're looking forward to it?
Yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing. You know, I entered this event last minute, and I'm here to cause some chaos. So that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Nice, well done. Dennis Holler, again, a nice victory there. We were talking in that race how in your interviews you like to play yourself down a little bit, thinking, oh, yeah, we'll do our best in all of this. But, you know, you've been pretty quick out there, man. I think you've got this in the bag.
Yeah, it was like a good race for me, to be honest, with a small shocking point during the pits, because I've seen a yellow light on the 2nd gate, so I wasn't sure to pit once again. But the crew showed me, no, keep going, Dennis. So, yeah. I have no idea what happened in the pits, but it seems to be it was correct. Yeah, and during the race, I felt quite comfortable with the car. It was not so easy to drive, to be honest, the number 10. But yeah, looking forward to the semis and to the final. As we see, it's really close on the points. So yeah, we will see.
It'll be a fantastic semi-finals and finals. We'll look forward to seeing you out there, hopefully. Dennis Holler, again, another fantastic victory. I just want to chat to one more driver. Aldous, don't disappear from me. We've not really spoken to you all day. You're obviously a new driver in the Brkc. You've jumped in. It was kind of a last-second attempt at it. Firstly, how have you found it?
Oh, it's been amazing. I mean, I was kind of parachuted in about 2 weeks ago when a space opened up, so it's all been a bit last minute. Only really 2 practice sessions on Friday and then straight into my first heat, but yeah, it's a massive learning curve, but it's amazing to know where you rank amongst the best drivers, you know, in the world. So yeah, it's been an amazing experience.
No, brilliant stuff. And I mean, like you say, out there, it's quite physical. It looks easy. People say indoor karting, that's just kids play, but it really is a workout, isn't it?
It absolutely, every single time anyone gets out of the car, they're usually drenched. So it's an absolute workout, especially because the corners are just relentless. They're, you know, corner after corner after corner. So it's just an amazing challenge as well.
Yeah, not much rest time, but main thing, you've enjoyed yourself. Do we expect? Yes, it was a last-second thing, but are you coming back next year?
Oh, definitely. I'd absolutely love to. Yeah, you got after all the experience I've had, you know, with this round, I'd love to come in next time a bit more prepared, a bit more practice, and do even better. So for sure.
Well, brilliant stuff. We'll see you next year, hopefully. Then, Aldous, you enjoy. Stick around for the semi-finals and finals because it is a show. Well. That's it. Heats are done. Blimey. When did we start? 8 o'clock in the morning yesterday. I feel like I didn't even go home last night back to Silverstone. It felt like we've spent way more than 24 hours in this pit lane. But James, I'm very much looking forward to the semi-finals and the finals. Of course, we've got the Super Pole as well. That's definitely one to watch. Probably the most exciting part of the weekend itself. But any highlights from the heats that you can remember?
Well, to be honest with you, it's pretty much all of the heats, isn't it? The whole thing's been a highlight so far. Every year the championship just keeps getting better, and there's something to talk about in each race. Certainly, Dennis Holler there, very interesting interview because what did he describe it as? Not a good race for him, and not a good race for him means he beat somebody like Bradley Shepard by more than a second. So when that's not a good race, you're feeling good. I think he's definitely on for a position in the final. He is actually, I believe, second in the points race. Vika Schlitz leads the way with a clean sheet, and Dennis Holler has got 1 point less than that. So really, he's booked his place into the final already. It would take just about the most monumental muck-up if he was to fall out of the points necessary to get in the final.
Yeah.
What's happening now is, of course, we've got those semi-finals to come, the right to continue scoring, and then in those top 10 will go through the final, and that is it. Now, we've got a special event going on the start line as we speak. All the Bradley Shepherd Racing drivers are down there on the start line. There is a special tribute. There's going to be a minute silence here at Formula Fast. Bradley Shepherd, obviously very well known in the UK karting scene, and arguably even more well known was his granddad, Rodney Shepherd, who unfortunately passed away recently, and a very popular man indeed. There's going to be that minute silence here at Formula Fast, and as soon as everyone's in position, then that minute silence will begin. There's one more person to join in that. I think that's Jamie Henderson there. So it looks like we've got all the BSR drivers. So that minute silence is going to begin now, and this is in memory of the wonderful Rodney Shepherd. Everybody in British karting, as anyone knows who we're talking about here. 1 minute from now.